And we'll come back to why it's important in a few minutes. But notice that at that equilibrium price P star, only the consumers who value that product more than P star are buying the product. It's consumers in this segment of the demand curve whose willingness to pay is up here who are purchasing it. This is, again, sort of so obvious, right? Let's say candy bars cost $1. Who are the people who are going to buy a candy bar for $1? The people who value the candy bar for more than $1, or at least $1. That's going to be the people who buy the candy bar. So we have, the other nice thing that's happening here is that it's the consumers who value this product the most who are actually purchasing it. Now let's sort of go down here to think about this from the producer standpoint. Who are the producers who are producing this product? They're going to be the ones who have sort of the lowest cost of producing it, whose cost of producing these units is relatively low. Their willingness to supply, their marginal, the reservation prices are relatively low. Okay, so who are going to be the people who produce a candy bar when candy bars cost $1? They're going to be the producers who can produce the candy bar for less than $1. Because if it costs you $5 to produce a candy bar, you can only sell it for $1. Clearly, you're not going to make it. And so another nice thing that's happening here, again, is that it's sort of the consumers who value the products the most are getting them, and the producers who can produce it at the lowest cost are producing it. It's really obvious, but it's also it's sort of important as well. And we'll get back to talking more about that in just a few minutes. Okay. So that's what things look like graphically. So there are questions about this and what's going on here. Okay. That's what's going on graphically. Now let's talk about what's going on mathematically. So oftentimes, you'll be given the equation for a demand curve and the equation for a supply curve. What you always do when you're looking at these things is to ask yourselves whether or not the demand curve looks like a valid demand curve and whether or not the supply curve looks like a valid supply curve. So here, how do you do that? Well, one of the things you see here is that as price goes up, quantity demanded goes down. Perfect. All right, the coefficient on that P is negative. Price goes up, quantity demanded goes down. That's exactly what we want. Similarly, for supply, as price goes up, quantity supplied goes up. Okay, the higher the price of a good, the more consumer or the more producers are going to be willing to supply it. So there we have a supply curve and demand curve. Now just go back to the definition of